Virtual Racing School here at Watkins Glen. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Joshua Lee, and we got Marco Barbonera here in the booth. And what a race we have for y'all today. It is Watkins Glen without the bus stop, so classic boot Watkins Glen. And oh my goodness, F3s around here are gonna be awesome.
High speed, tiny cars here, very light, very easy to damage, and around Watkins Glen, that is not something you want to look for. One of the toughest tracks that these guys will race at all season long, one of the most historic tracks in the United States. This is going to be an awesome day.
It is certainly going to be an awesome day. We got a lot of cars, a lot of high speed, a lot of downforce, and 60 car, well, over 60 car grid.
I'm counting around 62 cars signed up right now. About 2 minutes left in qualifying. We could get some more signups, but 62 cars around this track. That is going to be very, very crowded. A lot of traffic for those guys, especially starting further back in the field.
Well, it's going to be very crowded, but one wonderful thing about the iGP Fun League is they're all about safety and not going for it on the start. They want everyone to enjoy the race as much as they can, so it's in the rules where they take it extremely easy at the start. You won't be seeing anyone making it 3 wide down the back straight heading into the carousel. So it's going to be hopefully 60 cars start and hopefully 60 cars ending today.
And only one can reach victory lane, and Alex Alcaraz currently has that fastest time here in qualifying to start on the pole with a 1 minute 38.35. A couple tenths behind is Samuel Hermer in second, Vitalo Garcia in third, Mark Alcaraz in fourth, and Christoph Herbinel, very familiar name here on Apex Racing TV, currently in fifth in qualifying. Very open qualifying session, 30 seconds left before we get onto the grid. We're 28 laps today, but a lot of fast cars up front. It's going to be a great race up front, and I think we're going to see with the 62-car grid a lot of battles throughout the midfield. I think we're not going to see any slow time during this race.
It's going to be incredibly close as well because the top 19 drivers are all within a second of Alex and Mark Alcaraz. Not Alcatraz. As we're riding on board with Marcel van den Berg. He's coming across the line in that beautiful Red Bull car. Sitting currently in 22nd. This is Nick Carty. He's in 31st right now. You can already see the side-by-side action as they go straight through the bus stop here on this layout. And, oh, drafting is going to be so fun right here.
And you can see the cars just dump out of the carousel right on the wall, trying to get the best run through the chute, down into turn 6 and then into the boot.
Yeah, important note here. The S is going to provide a lot of wiggle room at the start. Expect if someone gets loose there to it not be so pretty because it's so narrow and there's nowhere for you to go.
On board now with Zachary Beeson right up through the S's. Through turn 4 and onto the back straightaway. These cars so light, not a lot of downforce on these things, and they're very easy to damage. So one slight tap to the car next to you, you could be going around and sending yourself into pit road, and that is your day over.
Yeah, day can be over pretty fast. We see some amazing racing here at, oh my goodness, there's a car on the wall at the back stretch. Actually, on the front stretch, that would be Carty. And it can all just happen like that. A little bit too far out and immediately into the wall. And then debris all over the place. So these guys got to keep their head on their shoulders. And that's Formula 3 for you.
A couple cars finishing up their qualifying laps before the 62 cars take to the grid. You're currently looking at Giovanni Salito heading across the line. Zachary Beeson exiting the boot in that 42 car. Going to head through the final 2 corners, turns 10 and 11 to reach the front stretch here at Watkins Glen. A lot of grass on that outside. Make sure you don't hit that. and then dump the car going through the final corner. And he is going to abandon that lap right into pit road. I think he might be the last car we are waiting for before we get to our starting grid. Yes, it is.
It's going to be a very long grid talk as we talk about our results right now. And here we go. Alex Alcaraz starting on pole with Mark Alcaraz right behind him, right beside him on the front row there, followed by Samuel Hermer, Vitilo Garcia, Christopher Herberto, Mark NG, Sonny Rosario, Dave Martin, Luca Verardi, Nola Aladar, Andy Flint, and Lucas Lackner in your top 12. Josh?
Richard Wedstead starts in 13th. 14th, Zachary Beeson, followed by Adam Talsma, Andrea Bracchetti, Ben White, Katie Height, Jesus Manuel, Nick Naglier, Russell Kirkwood, Marco Berg, Chris Trott, and Russell Spatuto rounds out your top 24.
They're followed by Luciano Lorenzo, Philip Lucas, Stuart Minland, Rod McGuire, Johnny Coco, James Wills, Nick Carty, Jonah Burson, Dick Provoli, Vladimir Cardella, Richard Veen, and Lucas Maruk in 36.
37th, Aurelian Gemlewicz in 38th, Cujo Ido, Reed Dennis, David Dendelat, Matt Hertis, Giovanni Salito, Clemens Punzengruber, Jeffrey Conensfield, Ron Korolak, Clark Williams, Mateus Sonamaki, and Larry Hale will round out your top 48 in the grid.
Behind us, Antonio Rusevsky, Tiago Andre, Igor Masimenko, Frank Mutz, Patrick Rowlands, Sergey Asenetiv, Daryl Tufts, Christopher Luham, Cameron Dance, Pedro H. Oliveria, Ben Slad, and Alex Hopkins in 60th, and they're followed by Timothy Monty and Wayne Walker. Your grid today for the iGPFun-F3 as the 5 red lights are coming on. The hearts are rising and so are the reds as we're going green flag racing here at the Glen.
Good start for the two Alcarazes as they head down into turn number 1. Top 5 settling out the single file, but there's still some double file battles towards the back as they head up through the S's.
Now remember, these guys have a rule on lap 1 to keep it safe, keep it clean, no 3 wide. So any battling you see is just people just trying to get into the single file and try to make it through lap 1 safely. But we already got some fight between the Alcaraz brothers. They're going side by side, and Hermer looking down to the inside. These guys already looking like they want to go 3 wide through the carousel.
2 by 2 for the first 2 rows. On the inside, that third place car, I believe that's Garcia. He had a great run. I saw that was Samuel Hermer, who's now going to fall victim to Christoph Herman on the inside. Hermer went from trying to battle for second to going down into 5th as they head through the toe.
This field is absolutely packed as they're running through this course, and let me tell you, millions of, 60 single-seaters cars is absolutely beautiful to watch, especially through the hills of Watkins Glen. And it kind of looks like the U.S. Formula 4 Championship, where they set the record for the most single-seater cars starting a race at 40 last year at COTA.
And see it close at the 17th round.
Big spin into the wall.
Into the grass. Oh, that wing's done.
As Sony, that wing's done, and he's going to teleport and get a tow into the pit lane. As we go back up front, Alex and Mark still leading out the racer, followed by Vito and Christopher Herberto with Samuel Hermer, your top 5.
Back into 1. Garcia able to make a move on Alcaraz. Now to the inside. That's Herberto looking for the spot on Alcaraz. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all on each other. Alcaraz almost bump drafting Garcia up through the S's onto the back straight.
I think he was bump drafting him for a bit.
Oh, he's going to go to the left side.
It's covered off right there, then covered off again. Herberto looking down to the inside, then looking back to the middle. He's just going to keep his nose back there into the diffuser, trying to look for around the outside into the carousel. And this fight for 2nd place is all alive and well here in New York. And Herberto's around the outside, almost contact with Mark.
Keeping it safe is Hermano. A little bit of a touch to the grass, but he keeps the car under him. Now going to have Samuel Hermer trying to go around the outside through the toe. Back to single file as now Alcaraz sets his sights on Garcia once again.
So they start separating out just a little bit and then tiding back up. Hermer looking down to the inside of Hermano. But it is all good running for Alex Alcaraz way up front. And we look down the field and just look at this grid. This is just beautiful to watch.
Everybody's settling out right now, but there have been some battles throughout the field along with up front. But look at that, just single file for most of the way down this order. Just an insane amount of cars on this racetrack at once, and it's great to see all of them racing cleanly and racing together. As a pass made, that's Saputo. He picked up a position still side by side behind him with Nagler and Kirkwood.
Now side by side heading at turn 1. He found a gap to just slot back in there, and they continue that single file race. And it's going to be a lot of this today, as it's going to be a lot of draft racing as we ride on board of Russell Kirkwood in that Alpha Tauri car. And we can see Kirkwood getting a good run onto the underside of the Williams car. 2 F1 liveries going at it right now.
Back through the carousel, not able to make anything happen for either of them. Kirkwood gonna stay behind, as now Jesus Manuel looking for the spot, side by side around the outside.
Kirkwood holding it around the outside right there, and he's got that move heading into the toe.
He's gonna get that position as they head back through the boot. Uphill, back downhill before they head back onto the regular racetrack. But looking around the outside is that AlphaTauri car. That's Kirkwood, as Lucas was able to get by. Kirkwood not able to make a response yet.
Now back up front to Rachetti in the battle for 13th. Well, really the battle for 14th, as we're looking back at height in that 69 car, just dancing on his nose.
No change in the front of the order. Alcaraz still leads behind Garcia, Mark Alcaraz, Christoph Herbino, and Samuel Hermer. And everyone's spread out so far at the front of this race. Alex Alcaraz using that clean air to his advantage, trying to pull away even more. The gap back to Garcia, 1.12 seconds. And he is looking to extend that even more. There's a couple lap cars up ahead, but everybody's spreading out up here at the front.
Yeah, but the part, it's all business up front, and at the party in the back, this is the mullet of a grid, as the battle for 9th is all wild, baby.
They went side by side to the carousel, more side by side action through the carousel. Somebody got up out of the groove and got loose. Looks like Andrea Brachetti, as they're gonna fall right victim to another car. That was Lucas on the inside, and the 3 of Andrea Brachetti falling back to 21st. Now on board with Marcel Vandenberg.
And that Red Bull just following Saputo up in front of him. Saputo's just defending that. Well, not really defending that, just taking the normal line. But Berg just keeping his nose clean on the back end. He might not be looking for a move. He might just be doing that to keep his nose clean and avoid accidentally running into the back. And oh, we got a car off. Is months off in the heel. And we got 2 cars in the pit lane right now. Back up front to the battle for 2nd, on board with Hermano, looking back at Hermer and Martin. Actually, that is Hermer. That car, that very vibrant car behind him, was actually a lapped car. I believe that lapped car was involved at this in an incident at the start or started from the pit lane.
And that lapped car is Antonio Ruzebski, currently scored in 50th place. That just shows how many cars are in this race. He has scored 50th.
Also showing how many cars are in this race is the amount of positions gained by these guys. And the largest number, our biggest mover right now is Benish Ladd in 35th. He's up 24 spots from where he started.
Up 24 spots from 35th. That is insane. This battle's starting to heat up once again. Back out of the boot. That's a 152 car. Everybody settling back out to single file. There was a battle going on between that blue and yellow car we're currently focusing on of Johan Bergson. And back to Binish Ladd, who had a little bit of a battle going on when we first looked into him.
Oh, that's a good exit.
The car goes into pit road.
Yeah, Cameron Dan's hopping into pit road. He's got damage on his front wing. If you looked at the front left, he's bent it already onto the inside. So I'm not sure if that was car-to-car contact or that was contact with the wall in the S, maybe. Oh, Dan's on the set, and oh, big lockup right there. And that is extremely unfortunate. Back up front to the battle for 9th team. Verani, Wedstead, Lackner, and Beeson.
Lackner with a fast car. Trying to pull away on the straightaway. Trying to use that slipstream from the cars up ahead. Not doing much to get Zachary Beeson away from his back bumper. They head uphill out of the boot. Can Lackner get a good exit and try and get to the car in front of him? That's Richard Wedstead. The next position he can gain, and that is for top 10.
Well, it's going to be very hard to produce a gap here because the main braking point here at Watkins Glen now is just at the toe and just at turn 1. Most of this time, you aren't really hitting the brakes here. You're just mainly tapping them and rolling them into the corner. Turn 1, entering the boot, and the toe are really the only braking zones here and the only opportunities you can make a braking pass in these F3 cars because they have so much downforce. The draft on these cars is very powerful, so it's very easy to follow and stay with the cars ahead of you and maybe have a drag race as we watch right now as Alcaraz goes down to the inside of Garcia. And also right behind him, Herbino and Hermer having a drafting battle.
Down the inside, Beeson gonna grab that spot on Lackner, but Lackner gonna respond, trying to go around the outside. Gonna fall back to single file as they head into the boot and through the toe. Can Lackner get a good slipstream and get around Beeson? Trying to get a good exit out of this corner, turn 7. And you can see him just very slowly gaining on the car in front to the inside of Beeson.
It's a good attack, not defended at all by Beeson. Beeson very aggressive on the defense. We got a car off as they're exiting the boot. And Beeson used that to his advantage to go back down to the inside and back ahead of Lackner.
Great battle back here, battling for P13. It seems like these cars can really easily get into some 2-car pods, and those two can battle for a good long while.
Massive lockup heading into turn 1.
Lucas. That was
Beeson! Oh no! The most unlucky thing can happen right there. As Beeson and White come together, it looks like White got into contact with the car that he was with. There's Beeson and Lackner getting into each other. And then White comes around into turn 1. It just looked like his wheel just popped. Oh, he was hit by one of a car onto the inside of him. was the number 10. Is that Marcel Vanderberg?
I believe so. It's an unfortunate incident because Beeson got contact from Lackner behind and then just had White then just all of a sudden slamming into his side pod.
That is such a narrow form. Netcode was definitely involved right there. They didn't really actually touch, but that was a very narrow opening right there. Looking at this battle for 19th. Coco swooping down to the inside of the heel, trying to hold it around to the outside of Bergeson, and he does that with ease. I think Bergeson might have a damaged car. Yeah, it is a front wing damage. Took a look at it. You can just see that thing. Yeah, front right is bent up, and he's going to go into the pits.
Unfortunate for Bergeson, one of the others that we saw in a battle, one more coming into pit road. Trying to see who that other car coming down pit road is. I think that is Rosario.
Russell Kirkwood and Ben White were in the pit road. As we're looking at the battle for second right now, we haven't spent much time up here as it's a party all over the place here in this track. So we have our glorious Freedom units down in our bottom right-hand corner, and in our weather, it's a beautiful day here in Watkins Glen, New York. 78 degrees in the air. Track is a nice 84 degrees. Plenty of good time to go around Watkins Glen at an average speed of 120 miles an hour here on this glorious Sunday morning sim time. Actually, it's Saturday morning in the sim because that was September 19th. And now it's a Josh for the sports.
I believe the Bills won the game against the Miami Dolphins, so Marco's kind of unhappy, but my Steelers did win. Back to Austin with the race for second.
Well, this race for second taking a little bit of break as these guys are breaking way off of turn one. It's totally legal to go back there as long as you get back onto the track before the grass starts. And both are using all that track and all that speed to their advantage. We got a battle for ninth place between Wiesed and Ferrani as we ride on board with Wiesed. And he's all up in that gearbox and all up in that diffuser. And he's just going to stay right there, wait for the right moment on this back straight, looking around to the outside, getting all the way out to the grass. Look at the speed that Richard Winsett has on Luca Ferrani. They're going to go side by side. Winsett had the speed to just sling it on him. And that's how powerful the draft is on this car.
And he really made his own lane out there on the outside, right against the grass. Did not have a lot of room, but he made it work and got the spot. What a move.
Absolutely wonderful move right there. And he's starting to pull away, so he's got the pace.
Now he's going to need to look forward, see if he can catch any more cars up ahead of him before this race ends. Only about 19 to go.
That was a late
probably defending on Manuel.
That was a very late defensive move down low. Lucas forced to go up high, but now they're side by side heading into the heel. Lucas inside, probably outside, still side by side as they're exiting the boot right now. This corner is the most tricky corner on this track. No matter what car you're in, you're going uphill, then it flattens out. It's a very off-camber corner. It's not used that much, and it's very low grip right there. Every car I've had, it just wants to slide right there. Maybe not in the McLaren with the soft tires on. Lucas looking down to the inside, making a big move into turn one. He's got him right there, but he pushed him out a little bit too wide. And probably has to go into the grass. These guys going to go side by side through the S's. Probably going to get back right behind him, going to try to use that draft to slingshot around the outside, Ricky Bobby style.
That was so close to front wing damage for Philip Lucas as he now looks ahead, tries to get to the outside. That's probably making the move.
Probably, though, on the inside of the carousel. He's got the speed mid-corner, just a sling, just to move just ahead of Probably. Now Probably looking around the outside as they enter the boot.
Oh, not able to make it happen. Settles back for single file. Almost went off track coming into the boot there. They don't look to the inside. It's all about the exit of this corner. Can he get the run? Heading down into the heel, turn 8.
Oh, he's carrying a lot of speed through that too. You can just hear the tires just struggling for grip. You actually see he's having a little bit of a
almost drifting coming out of the boot is Philip Lucas as he tries to run away from Dirk Probably. But Probably keeping him reeled in. Looking to make another move as to the inside. I believe that's Nolan Allier heading to the inside of Richard Wedstead. And no call around the 7, Adam Talsma.
Talsma went around and he tapped the wall. He's going to have some small wing damage back to the battle for 18 between Probably and Lucas. Lucas using all the track, probably braking a little bit early. He probably saw the yellow flag was out, taking it very cautiously through here. That's a smart play. But as these two are battling, look at Coco right behind them. Coco might be charging up there and making this a three-way fight.
Oh, right back to the outside goes Probably. Trying to get the move done before he goes into the carousel, but he only gets up to the side pod with those front 2 tires. And that outside of the carousel is not the best lane to hold speed. That inside line, definitely the preferred lane going through there. Oh, call around the boot.
That is Nolan Allard coming out of the toe, and that's a wheel off, and he's going to tow back to the pit lane. I'm going to guarantee what happens right here. He just clipped the curb onto the inside and got a little bit too excited on the throttle. There he got into the grass on the exit. It's either one of those two things right there.
And that tire came off that right rear. So the left rear, nothing they could do about that. Tried to tow it back to the pits. That is unfortunately an end to his day and an end to his drive.
Back to this fight for 16th now as Talsma enters the pit lane.
Diving down into turn number 1, and we go right to a battle to the carousel. Almost contact. This is Hermer in a battle, I believe, with Christoph Herbino. Yes, it is. Herbino and Hermer battling into the carousel. Now back into the boot, just coming off of turn 6 into 7. Oh, almost contact. He got really close.
Just giving him a little bit of a look-see mid-corner. And I think Herbino's starting to take notes on where he has the advantages on Hermer.
Coming out of the boot, a good run off of this corner is crucial if he wants to pass him coming through the front straightaway. Herbino not with the best corner coming off of the boot. But through these final 2 corners, 10, 11, back on the wall.
Big tap in the wall. He might have a little bit of suspension damage, but nothing too major as Herbino is continuing to go on, and I don't see any body damage to his wing. Might have a little bit of scraping on his side pod, though.
Will he come in to fix that damage is the question.
If he has damage.
If he does have damage, he's looking to pit out at around 11th place. Lackner back into another battle with Marcel Vandenberg. Seems like Lackner has not had a calm part of this race. Every time we go to Lackner, he is trying to pass another car, and this one's for P12. Trying to use that horsepower to the outside. Not going to have the dominant line into the carousel. I don't think he had enough momentum to make that move. No, he's going to try and cross over to the inside. Goes Lucas Lackner on Vandenberg. He's going to take the spot away.
That was a great move by Lackner. Let's get a beautiful replay of this. Riding on board with Lucas Lackner. Last minute crossover play. Swinging it down to the inside. And swinging it up into 12th.
So Vandenberg goes down into 13th. You can see a couple seconds behind right there coming onto your screen is Nick Naglier. That's the next car. Sitting in 15th.
And as we just passed halfway through this race, our good pal, Binish Lad, up 38 spots.
He's a man on a mission. One car out, 16 car.
That was Nick Carty again. And oh, that's very tricky to be right there. Make sure you have F3 up if you're attempting this one, but he's going to get his car back around and thankfully not into anyone else. But yeah, Binish Lad up 40 spots today. It's currently sitting in 19th. Usually when we see a car up 40 spots, they end up winning the race. But in this 60-car grid, it's good enough for a top 20. But wow, Binish is having a drive today.
Taking a look at Dirk Proverly trying to chase down Johnny Coco up in front of him. And as this race is continuing to go on, we are nearing 10 laps to go. So we are just past halfway. Everybody's starting to spread out. These cars starting to naturally spread out as expected. But Herbino and Hermer still sparring as they come back onto the front straightaway to take lap 16.
I don't think Herbino and Hermer are going to separate until the fat lady sings and that checkered flag flies, or both of those things happen at the same time. Because Herbino is always stuck in the draft of Hermer. Now, Herbino's going to have more worn tires because his tires being worked off with all that dirty air, and he's focusing more on that mechanical grip than the aero grip that he's getting since he's just following Hermer this entire time as they go past that lapped car. And Herbino not as close as he used to be coming down into the carousel. So it's going to be a game of tire wear if this continues on for the next few laps.
That is the question of tire wear. They don't need to pit for fuel at all during this race, so that just all depends on how worn your tires are. That is going to be the determining factor of where you finish this race, as Lucas Lackner still battling Vandenberg back into the boot.
Berg Lackner fight for 12. You just hear these tires struggling for grip.
Vandenberg doing a great job at holding Lackner behind it, but I do believe Lucas Lackner is the faster car over these two. Lackner just needs to find a way to get past him. These last couple of corners, not great passing opportunities. Front straightaway into turn one, I think is his best bet to get past him right now as they go on to lap 17.
Lackner taking a very lax exit coming out of the penultimate corners, and I think that's just to separate him just a little bit to give him more room into turn one and get a good run out of the exit and try to make a move on the back stretch. And here he comes right now.
Trying to use that momentum to his advantage as he heads up through the S's. Oh, big battle going on through the carousel. That's Hermer and Herbino. Is that Herbino on the outside? Yes, it is. He's on the inside now.
What a move by
spot.
So Sorry about that. What a move by Christopher Herbino. Side by side. I believe it was also a late move, but it was excellent positioning by Christopher to jump up there into 4th place. And Samuel Hermer is going to stay back there and try to fight back for P4.
Oh, Hermer's not done yet. He wants past Herbino once again. He's going to try and do it. On board with Herbino, looking back on Hermer.
Big wiggle for Hermer mid-corner. Scrubbed off a lot of speed right there. That dirty air playing a bit of havoc with the front wing of Hermer. And oh, Hermer almost kissed the wall.
Very close to kissing the wall there, but he did not. Still in this race. And we did see Herbino kiss the wall earlier. Doesn't seem to have any damage on that car.
Yeah, no damage to Herbino as we can see. And these two guys are keeping it absolutely clean. Actually, most of this grid has kept it very clean because most of them haven't been to the pit lane. As I could tell by the top of my hand, about 7, 8 cars actually been into the pit lane so far. And we've got 49 cars still running.
We started with an insane grid size and still 49 cars running on the track at once is insane. We have cars pretty much everywhere on this circuit right now.
It would be a great day if this was happening in real life and you're spectating this kind of stuff, because this is absolutely wild. Berg holding the outside line. Lagner, late move. Berg, big tail got out right there. Big slide through the carousel, but Berg now onto the inside. Lagner trying to hold that outside line. Lagner going out all the way to the grass, using that curb to his advantage. Looking for the best exit as they're coming to a drag race, heading up into the curb. Last some late breakers. It's going to be Lagner down to the inside and up into 12th.
Lagner will grab that spot once again. But as we've seen, Vandenberg does not like sitting behind him. Back to the inside. Can he make it stick? Hits the rumble strip. Not going to happen.
Big bite of the curb right there. That bit a lot of grip out of him. We got a spinner out the toe. And that is Pootsengerber.
Oh, no, that's Finish Lad.
Finish Lad. No. Oh, that was risky.
Oh, my.
Well, I'm pretty sure 5 drivers need new suits after this. And one of the commentary boxes, that was very scary. So looking onto the inside of, that's Coco. And just got ahead of Coco. Maybe a little bit too much mustard right there. There's Pootsengerber passing him right now. And that's just a scary place for Lad. He accelerates. This is just the risky part. Oh my goodness. But with a crowded track just like this, it's going to be very hard to actually find a clean part of the track to do that move around. Probably the cleanest part of the track is just ahead of Alex Alcaraz, and I think if we bring up our minimap, you're going to see just a lot of dots. So let's do that.
Alex Alcaraz has continued to pull away. As much as the battles have happened behind him, he has just pulled away from Vitalo Garcia, who is 4.3 seconds behind him now. And as he comes across the line, 9 laps to go, he is just in his own race right now, just protecting his lead by over 4 seconds. What a drive from him so far. No, not a lot of battling he has had to deal with. He started on the pole and pulled away from there. But to just keep pulling away, using that cleaner disadvantage, what a drive for Alex Alcaraz.
Well, if you look at the minimap, we got a fight for second and a fight for fourth, and we got a massive fight for 6th place going on right now. And all those guys battling together are going to be slowing both of them down and just allowing Alex just to cruise away on a beautiful New York afternoon.
There's Garcia in second. Mark Alcaraz sits in third. These two pretty close together. The gap only about 0.8 of a second, but not within striking distance for Alcaraz. He needs to get further to the back wing of that car.
Well, he's got 8 more laps to do it here in the iGPFun-F3 series. It's a great start for week number 1 of the series. Next week, we'll be going to Donington National, followed by Suzuka, Sebring, Barcelona, Coda, Detroit, Road America, Brands Hatch, Interlagos, Mount Panorama, and Spa. And then they're going to have a massive big grid formula giving shared race for Vimala. And that's going to be at the very end of the season. Track has not yet been announced there. And all these races will be live on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Esports Network starting next week.
Battle between Herbino and Hermer starting to brew up again as Herbino lost the spot to Hermer once again. And if we know anything about Christoph Herbino, he does not like sitting behind cars. He wants to get past them up through the S's in that slipstream. Looking to use the draft. When is Herbino going to make the move? Protecting his Hermer on the inside. He does not want Herbino to have the dominant line in the carousel, almost pushing him.
I thought we were going to see a late move down to the inside of the carousel by Herbino, but Hermer did not budge a muscle right there. And this battle for 6, we got a 3-way fight. G, Martin, and Winstead, side by side they go. Winstead looked down to the inside of Martin through the carousel. Martin trying to hold off that speed and get a good run heading into the boot. They're still side by side, but Winstead got around Martin onto the inside, and G's trying to pull out a gap as they head into the toe. Back into 20th, Bichetti, Tuelis, and Dennis. These guys swinging it through the S's right now. They're about to have a massive draft fight, and there's a lap car in front of them.
A lot of battles starting to brew up once again as this race starts to finish. You're looking at Marcus G and Richard Wedstead.
Off the exit through that very slow left-hander. Wedstead swinging around the outside of the 44. That was beautiful by Richard Wedstead.
Wedstead will grab that spot. G back into third in this line. Oh, sorry, second in this line. Third in this line is Dave Martin. We haven't talked much about him tonight. He is sitting right there in 8th looking for that spot.
Well, he started at 8th. He stayed at 8th, and that 48 car has been very consistently staying there. And I think he's going to be very happy with a top 10 right now. He might be looking for a move. But somebody who's been looking for a move this entire time is Hermer and Herbino. These guys have not stopped battling ever since they came into sparring with each other.
I mean, this has been the biggest battle of the day. Herbino sitting behind, just waiting. Oh, we go back to this battle. Wedstead getting passed once again by Marcus G. G moves back up into 6th. Wedstead into 7th. How's he going to respond? Coming out of the toe.
Martin has an amazing seat, but they all follow in that draft going to the middle of the track. G wanted to defense and break off that draft and try to pull off the advantage that Wedstead has on the straights of him. That's a race out of the boot right now. Wedstead lining up G, and I think Martin is licking his lips, getting ready to pounce on these two.
Does he have enough tires to pounce on him is the real question. Right now, you got to be thinking about your tires when you try and make a move. How worn are your tires? Can you make the moves you want to make?
I think what you're really focused on is not hitting the guy in front of you. Guys, if you're battling for the top 6, for 6th place in the 60-car grid, I think position is more important. I think finishing is more important than the number next to your name at this point. But that's coming from a retired racer. These guys are still racing.
Back up to Hermer and Herbino as they continue to battle. We go right back to G and Wedstead. Wedstead around the outside of the carousel gets the move done.
Wedstead had the speed and the ability to do it, but he's got a big slide through the entrance of the boot.
In this three-car battle, Dave Martin hasn't said anything yet, but it looks like Wedstead is almost pushing Marcus G back into Dave Martin. Will Martin make a move now?
Oh, no.
Oh, Garcia's around.
That's Vitalo. Garcia was up there with Mark Alcaraz, and no. He was sitting in second all by himself through the trickiest corner, just lost all the grip right there, and around he went. And now, this fight for fifth originally is now, for fourth originally, is now the fight for the last spot on the podium. Herbino, side by side through the S's. They got two lap cars help out with drafting as well. So it's just like Chips. These guys going to go side by side down a long straight highway.
Hermer on the outside, Herbino inside. Christoph with the good line, but he gets loose. I think he might have had some contact with Hermer, but he gets the spot.
Little bit of a crossover by Herbino. Was that I believe that was his grip just going out just a bit. No damage, but very heads up by Hermer to let off that and not keep in the gas and maybe have an incident with Herbino. These guys keeping it safe. They have 4 more laps to go here in the Glen. So plenty more attempts for Hermer to get back on Herbino for the final spot on this podium for the iGPFun-F3 League.
Only a handful of laps to go, which means only a handful of laps left to make whatever moves they're looking to make. And Herbino, I think, just closed the door on Hermer as he continues to pull away. I think that's all he needed, but he's back in the wall.
That's definitely going to cause him that's definitely got damage on Herbino. If we go on board with Herbino, we might see his hands start to counter work that wheel.
On board with Herbino up through the S's after that contact. Here's that move as they went through the carousel. Oh, he barely had the room and he made it work.
It's that curb contact and
oh my goodness. Just the smallest tap to that front wing. Oh, he's up out of the groove again as the heads come out of the carousel into turn 6. Even though Herbino hit the wall, Herbert wasn't able to catch him that much.
Hermer might see that Herbino might have some damage after that wall contact, so he's just going to be watching him right there and hoping and banking that damage is going to cause him a little bit of a mistake as Martin makes a beautiful move down to the inside, entering the boot. But here comes G, looking down to the inside for a late dive.
I'm looking live on Martin and Wedstead. Sorry, Martin and Marcus G. Wedstead far up the road from these two as they continue to battle. We saw Marcus G battling with Wedstead a couple laps ago. Now he's fallen back. Oh, Nagler's in a battle with Marcel Vandenberg. About a half car length between these two, heading through the final 2 corners. Can that Williams car make a move on the Red Bull livery? Down the front straightaway. Into 1, he's gonna need a good run heading into here. Nagler not making any move, about a car length between these two.
Berg is holding his own. Nagler's just staying right there. He's burying that draft. I think he's going to go for a move. That was a risky look into the apex of the S's. And if he tried to make a move right there, we might have seen a multi-car incident in that tight S's. Up front, G and Martin going at still. G down to the inside, Martin holding around to the outside. Martin getting all the way out to the curb. Almost contact between these two cars, but G, beautiful move. Up into 7th and back to Berg and Nagler. Berg on to the inside. Nagler on around the outside, but now Berg around the outside. Big wiggle for him. Nagler now all the way side by side with him. Side by side they go into the boot. Who's going to be the last late breakers? Who's going to be the risky one to put the throttle down first? And look at this run that Nagler has on Berg. Berg defending all the way down to the grass. Here comes Nagler around to the outside. Wheel to wheel they go. Heading into the heel. Berg, a little bit of compromised line through here. Watch for Nagler onto the exit. Berg going to be defending. Is he going to go for a defensive blind? No. We saw this corner take out second place. Is it going to prove tricky for these guys? A little bit of a slide for both of them. And this battle for 12th goes on for 2 more laps to go. So we have to lap 27 out of 28. G, Wetstead, Martin. All 3 of these guys taking different lines through turn 1.
Wedstead fall victim to Marcus G once again, and now has a mirror full of Dave Martin as they head up through the S's. Only 2 laps to go.
Martin is just going to be waiting for that last lap. He's not going to try to make a move right now. He's just going to intimidate and be in the mirrors and be that little fly that you're focusing on for the low. But this is a big dive, and no!
And that is Marcus G in the wall, rear wing gone, towing to pit road. What on earth happened here? Wedstead, huge dive up into the carousel, and around goes the 44.
Somebody took the advice of James Hunt and Big Balls.
Oh, and that door shut so quickly. Maybe a little bit of a netcode involved in there too, but it looked like just Wedstead had so much momentum and nowhere to go with it.
Massive netcode, but that door shut faster than the baker's door at 9 p.m. and you really want a waffle. Not sure why bakers are selling waffles, but that's what just came out of my mouth. You get the analogy. Source closed.
Here we are on the white flag lap. Looking at Alex Alcaraz, he extended his lead to 7.3 seconds. What a drive. Fastest car on the racetrack, fastest Sector 1 time. He is on rails right now, and he is going to get a much-deserved victory here at Watkins Glen.
Now, Alex Alcaraz, nothing wrong for today. Started up on pole. Ran an amazing race. Everything went right behind him. He did everything right. And the number 26 is looking absolutely zip and dandy fine as he's coming out through the heel. He's just got 3 more quarters to go, and they're going to be done with extra caution right now. 2 quarters left, and they got to still battle for 11th between Berg and Nagler. Side by side they go. Berg down to the inside. Nagler taking that outside line. Nagler looking for that very late dive and coming around the final corner. Ladies and gentlemen, taking round 1 of the iGPFun-F3 series, Alex Alcaraz.
Mark Alcaraz going to come home P2. Herbino P3, followed by Hermer and Garcia with a spin off of the carousel, or a spin coming out of the boot through turn 9. Rallies back for a top 5 finish. Now you're looking at Nagler and Vandenberg. Will Nagler have anything for Vandenberg coming on the front straightaway? He's got a big run.
Berg had a massive wiggle. He's got 2 quarters to go. I've seen this happen before. You can dive it into the final corner if you're brave. Here comes Nagler and Berg. All the caution to the win. It's a drag race to the line, but it's going to be Berg by a car length.
What a finish for those two. We still have almost half the field coming through the boot, and a big battle between Coco and Coco and Clemens Punzengruber, I should say.
Oh, and here comes Punzengruber looking down to the inside. Big win for him. Here comes Coco looking onto the outside. Jonica trying to make a move right here, but Dirk probably defending all the way down to the pit wall. It's going to be Dirk. Oh, no. Oh, multi-car collision coming out of the boot.
Is that Kirkwood and who else?
It looks like Koji Icho. No, it was a lap car. That might have been, trying to look who might have been, but it might have despawned immediately. Here's the 023, and bam! Hard into the wall. Victim of just location. That is unfortunate. I'm not sure who that was, though. It's the black and red of, might have been a
black and red car just right behind. Is it Chris Trott?
So we try to figure out. There's Kirkwood, and if we, it's so ow. That incident is just so hard at the end. You definitely don't want to see that as you end out this race. I'm guessing the world's just not going to help us find that one out. But if I just look at who finished that I want to say Kuchi Icho, but I'm not sure. But here are your results. Alex Alcaraz takes the win, followed by Mark Alcaraz. Christopher Herberto finishes out that podium, followed by Samuel Herbert, Victor Garcia, Dave Martin, Richard Whitsett, Luca Ferrari, Katie Height, Andy Flint, Marcel Berg, Nick Nagler, Philip Lucas, Lucas Lackner, Dirk Provley, Johnny Coco, Clements Punzengruber, and Andrea Brachetti, your top 18 drivers. And they're followed by James Lewis, Waldemar Cadella, Reed Dennis, Cameron Dance, Nick Carty, Ron Karolklak, Russell Kirkwood, Aurelian Gimilowitz, Kuchiicho, Jesus Manuel in 28th. And in 29th, it's Sonny Rosario, Marcus NG, David Denoda, Sergey Askenetiv, Adam Talsma, Miller Alomar, Antonio Rozeski, Matthias Sanatamaki, Ron McGuire, Lucas Marouk in 38th. They're followed by Richard Veen, Tiago Andrade, Christopher Tott, Patrick Rollins, Giovanni Saleto, Daryl Toots, British Lad, France Muntz, Jonas Bergeson, Ben White, Christopher Lohman, Russell Saputo, Stuart Minland, Zachary Benson, Luciano Lorenzo, Jeffrey Consenfield, Clark Williams, Matt Hurdas, Larry Hale, Timothy Monty in 58th. They're followed by Pedro H. Oliveira, Igor Maskamenko, Alex Hopkins, and Wayne Walker. Your complete grid this time. And I'm out of breath, so I'm going to leave it to Joshua to take Luca.
And we do have the car that was also around with Russell Kirkwood, and that was Chris Trott. So those two cars wrecked coming out of the boot there. And we do have Luca Verana with us. Luca, good race for you today. How was it from inside the car? Luca, do you have a copy? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties with Luca Varini there. So, Marco, unless you want to wait a minute, you can go ahead and take us out of Watkins Glen. So Russell Kirkwood and Chris Trott involved in this incident. Taking a look at another replay. Was not a good incident coming off of the boot. Two drivers that looked like they were going to have some great finishes. They ended up with two damaged race cars. It almost looked like two different incidents maybe happening at once.
Well, as you two try to figure that out, I am joined by Luca Verarni right now. And Luca, welcome to the commentary box. And how was that race, man?
Hey, thank you guys for the broadcast. I hope it was nice. My race was a bit of a pain, I must say. My car was not set up properly. I had no confidence in the tires. I had only tested on a colder track, and I had too little wings, and the car was sliding a little bit too much.
It looked like a lot of cars weren't set up for this track that well, because later on in the race there was a lot of sliding going on. But you did finish in 8th place. You qualified in 9th, and you were in a pretty race-long battle for most of it. But this massive 62-car grid, I've never seen anything like it. Tell us about that.
I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I've not seen it. I've only seen it around me. I saw some nice battle for P4, P5, and P7, whatever. It was 3 cars battle. Unfortunately, I was losing places left and right, but I hope it was fun for the viewers.
It certainly was fun for us, and I know iGP Fun has been around since 2003, so would you like to tell us about it?
Well, what can I say? As Marco was saying earlier, I started organizing races back in '98. Then we switched to Grand Prix Legends in the late '90s, and AGP Fun started in 2003. So we have been going on for 17 years. We moved to iRacing in 2013, SRF first, then Formula Renault, now the Formula 3. Well, the idea is to be here for quite a while yet.
Well, with a massive grid that you guys got going on right now, and with the race that y'all brought us today, it's going to be a lot of fun for this entire season. You got planned up for us for the next, 12 more races after this, including that final race of the season with that charity race. I'm not sure where that one's at yet.
Yeah, correct. That's a charity event. That's not just for IGP Fun members. Every week 13, we organize a big grid race for Formula 3 in this case. So we have a Formula 3 World Cup, you guys just broadcasted. We have a Formula 3 Team Cup, and once a year we have a Formula Giving race for Vimala charity event. Typically have more than $1,000 in prizes, and we collect between $2,000 and $3,000 for charity. So please drive, spectate, and donate. It's a very worthy cause.
It certainly sounds like it is. Well, thank you, Luca, for joining us today and bringing this and organizing this season for us. And because it's going to be a wonderful show, even if you aren't driving it.
I look forward to watching your broadcast.
All right, thank you, Luca. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
You guys for the broadcast, all the drivers that make this race, this series, a very friendly, welcoming, and hopefully fun to watch race. Thank you. I really appreciate the effort everybody puts in.
Thank you, Luca. You have a good night.
Bye, guys.
And on to Joshua Lee, who's going to close us out.
Thank you all for tuning in to the first round of the iGP Fun-F3 series here from beautiful Watkins Glen International. We hope you can join us next week for the next round of the iGP Fun-F3 series, where we will be in, not exactly sure where we will be. I believe we'll be in Donington. We will be in Donington next week. Make sure you tune in, same time, but over on the iRacing Esports Network, as well as the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel. For Austin Knight, Marco Barbanera, I am Joshua Lee saying goodbye from Watkins Glen.